Alright, what's up, wieners and people convicted of multiple misdemeanors? Welcome back to the Sammy Whammy YouTube channel. I know, I haven't uploaded in almost a month. Don't worry about it. I just don't care. I just don't care about this channel right now. I've got so many better things that I could be doing. And to keep it a buck with you, the only reason I'm doing a video right now is just because I feel kind of bad for it. But don't worry about it. I have a topic that I think is worth talking about. Don't whine about it. Originally, I was going to do the thing that I actually alluded to last video where I talk about how much I fucking hate Five Nights at Freddy's. And that would have been the joke of this video because the gameplay is Visage, one of the greatest horror games ever made, and I can talk about one of the lamest, most overrated horror games ever made in the video, but I kind of decided to expand that a little bit and start ranting about how the internet is basically the new kindergarten. Now, it sounds weird when I say it first, but trust me, or I don't even know if you should trust me anymore, but what I mean is that the internet has kind of turned into a place where everyone's just being super childish and very dumb, and it feels like so many people have to kind of teach those people. It's like the internet is this big crowd of a bunch of young children or people who act like young children, and they're being controlled around by all the people who are mature, or at least pseudo-intellectuals who think they're smart and who think they are better than everyone, who just kind of happen to be at the top and just push everyone around. And just like this jump scare, it is pretty scary what the internet has come to. And everything that's going on right now. What I mean is that it just feels so goofy, you know? I don't know how else to explain it. But it is kind of scary that we're creating such a bad environment for all the young people who are becoming internet accessible. Or the people who are getting allowed internet access. And it just feels like we've created such a bad world for them to be in. It's kind of like in real life how a lot of millennials or whatever who are very irresponsible with their jobs and accidentally killed the planet for us. For young Gen Z people like me who are just trying to live their life. I feel like we and pretty much everyone who's been on the internet before our generation have created such a wasteland for people to come on now, because it just feels like the internet has lost so much of what has made it fun, and now it's just a bunch of young children having too much access to everything, just running around and just ruining their innocence very quickly, and we just have to try our best to control these young infants and dummies and what have you. It sounds lame and it sounds very ranty, but trust me, trust me. I feel genuinely bad for a lot of children who are just coming into the internet now. Everything is so filtered and restricted, and we have just become kind of monsters. We've become kind of not very good people for a lot of younger people who are coming on now. Because, okay, this is coming from someone who's been using Discord for a little while. So I got Discord when I was 14 years old in late 2018. And the site was very open, and every now and then, of course, you get some very crazy shit going on, like I have encountered some illegal activity before, but it's not, I don't know. I was 15, it doesn't matter. But now I feel kind of bad for a lot of 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds who are joining the site now, and I feel like Discord's been a breeding ground for all of the bad shit on the internet. Of course, you get people who are trolling people to wit's ends, where they just kind of end up cracking and make a total fool out of themselves. People who make people do genuinely awful things in the act of trolling or whatever. And as someone like me who is a genuine member of the the ITO, the International Trolling Organization, I do not tolerate that behavior. It's not condoned. Some other stuff going on for a lot of 14, 13-year-olds. It is pretty obvious pedophilia or whatever is not very good on here, and it's gotten a lot worse, and there are a lot more people in fact who are on the site just because they're adults, and it is literally the easiest way to groom minors. And then of course there's the people who take Discord way too seriously. I fucking hate Discord staff who take their jobs too seriously. I was a Discord admin for a couple years for some pretty big YouTubers, and I let some crazy shit slide. I genuinely didn't care. I'd mute people for spamming or doing big ass walls. But if someone was just being funny or whatever, I was like, I'm not muting. I'm not muting this guy's ass. He's funny. Or I'd just troll people, and if there was someone who kind of annoyed me, I'd perma-mute them or whatever, only to unmute them a while later because, of course, it's just a troll. But now it's just people who are genuinely no lives, and they just don't know how to have fun anymore. There's a server, well, there's a couple servers I'm on actually, where it's just me trolling people, acting like a young idiot. I spam dumb emojis all the time or whatever. Yeah, I'm not on Discord too often nowadays because it's a lot of my friends and stuff are just all off doing their own stuff now. And people I was friends with for a few years, starting in 2019, we've just kind of grown apart or whatever, grown distant. We still know each other, and we might talk to each other a few times a year. But other than that, we're not doing too much. But I have noticed a significant change in Discord lately where it's just, people are destroying themselves and their lives have become absolutely awful lately. And it is very unfortunate. And I wish we could find a way to turn that sort of stuff around. Now, in the midst of 2019 to 2023 Discord, of course, Discord did the rebrand and kind of made themselves more of a kids type of site. And now it's just, they're being babied and they're being very simplified or whatever. It's not as bad as going to the Discord site with your complaints and you're being treated like a furry is talking to you. I don't know if any of you guys remember that, but that was awful. If you're as old as me, you'd remember that. At least Discord's a lot more they talk normal now when you complain about stuff. But they complain about a lot more than they used to, and they are enforcing stuff a lot more than they should. And of course, copyright law has been enforced like crazy. COPPA has ruined a lot of fun on a lot of sites, especially YouTube. I can't watch any scenes from Phineas and Ferb without not being able to read the comment section or make my window smaller. I don't blame the comment section because, of course, most children's content has children in it, and pedophiles exist. But why the fuck do they not allow you to minimize fucking videos of children's TV or whatever? COPPA's flawed, and I hate COPPA. And speaking of COPPA, well, it's not really but the new YouTube CEO, you guys scared of him? This is another example. I feel like a lot of the wrong people have been getting access to a lot of social media. Elon Musk, I don't hate him as much as other people do because really he's just some rich dude doing what he wants. I don't blame him. If I were rich, I'd do what I want. But I feel like someone like him shouldn't have access to Twitter. At least he's making free speech a big deal again, which is nice. But it's not as bad. It's not as good as the internet was a while ago. And I'm trying not to sound blinded by nostalgia, because of course that's going to be a given when I talk about anything. But it just kind of sucks that speech has been getting restricted a lot lately. Twitter is an exception because Elon Musk is a very strong advocate for free speech. But many other sites have become way too tame. I instantly think of 4chan, the infamous troll site where the the troll legion first developed, and now they're just it's become too PC, if that makes sense. And I don't like people who are like that now, and it is very unfortunate that people have been being treated like this so much lately. It is very it does suck. Now this is where the real kindergarten part comes in. People are being treated like they are the dumbest, most innocent, most childlike, most ignorant, dumbest people possible. And it's just them being babied around by a bunch of pseudo-intellectuals, people who think they they are in the authority to be teaching all these young 13, 14-year-olds or whatever. And that's just because people that young are very impressionable. You can say pretty much anything to them and they'll probably just comply or whatever. They'll just say, yeah, that guy's right. I can agree with that. And then they just kind of grow up in the wrong spot. Not trying to say there's any wrong opinions or whatever. I just think they're too impressionable to where if you give them a more controversial opinion that they'll begin acting it out and kind of making a fool out of themselves rather than just being that other person with a different opinion, if that makes sense. Now, my opinions are very adverse to a lot of the PC environment that everything is in nowadays. But I wouldn't, I don't know, go around braggy about how fucking cool I am or whatever. That's exactly what a lot of younger people do. They just want to be different and they want to feel special, but it's more like so many people want to be special that the special thing is being normal now. For instance, you might be aware of all the young like emo lame art kid archetype right now. They have all the dyed hair and they dress all dark or whatever, and they have the outfits or whatever. If you go on, I don't know, TikTok or some shit, and pretty much every 13, 14-year-old looks like that. They just look like some total fucking loser worth being bullied now. I don't know, but 10 years ago, it wasn't as big of a thing, man. I feel like everyone now has just become, I'm depressed. I'm depressed because that's the fun thing nowadays. We are putting the wrong stuff in the children's heads now, and I just think that's very unfortunate. At least not trying to brag or anything, but I could tell what was good and what was bad, and I tried to avoid the stuff I deemed to, if I look back on it, I'd be very embarrassed. And I know, I fucking watched the Buscus when I was younger, but I don't care about that. But when the Paul brothers and Team 10 and all that gay shit became big, I avoided them. Because I was like, yeah, these guys are they make me feel off. And, I don't know. Maybe I'm just bragging about how awesome I am. But seriously, it just does suck that the internet is literally just kindergarten right now. It's just people like us trying to round up all these children and tell them what's good and what's wrong rather than just being a free site where you can do whatever you want and have not much consequences, because it just felt like everyone knew what was good and everyone knew what was bad. Of course, you had a bunch of trolls. You had a minority of people who were just monsters. But trolling was wholesome and fun, and it was the type of thing where, like, it's like one of those wholesome pranks from TV back then, where it's just like, I got trolled. You know, funny. It was a funny act of trolling. But now trolling's, I don't know, it's just people torturing people for fun. It's like when that Maximilian YouTuber made that autistic guy eat his own shit. What is going on nowadays? And I feel like a lot of other people... Oh, this is one more thing. One final point I'd like to talk about YouTube being kindergarten is the comfort streamer archetype. A lot of these, I act obnoxious because it gives you a point to remove yourself of your fake depression. People, that sort of stuff, you know? The I'm gonna be loud and obnoxious so I can relieve you of your depression Andes who just go on the internet and they're like, hi guys, I'm your new comfort streamer. And then it just feels like they're giving a lot of children the fake person to grow up with, and a lot of these people are more, yeah, I'm special, I'm unique or whatever. They're mostly gay. Or they emphasize on that way too much in their streams. And I feel like if you feed someone a lot of information like that, you're gonna give them a bias that is a little too annoying. What am I saying in this video? This video sucks. Why am I going... This is what happens when I don't upload for a month. This video and the last video were both uploaded after multiple weeks of not uploading or whatever. And the video has turned out to be complete crap. It doesn't matter. I don't know. I'll get back on the grind and actually do stuff that actually makes sense. The last two videos have just been me ranting about stuff that doesn't need to be ranted about. But anyway, I'll be back to you in the future. This has been Sammy Whammy. Peace.